I guess we'll just take a moment for folks to say, I think we only have time for you to say your name and where you are right now. And we'll just go around and do that. So I guess everybody's array looks different. So I'll just call on people. So Rick.
Rick Roberts, vacationing in Sea Ranch, but from Nevada.
Sarah Armstrong, Berkeley, California. Shags.
Stephen Shagrin, better known as Shags, in Walnut Creek, California.
Our treasurer. Okay, Brandon.
Sorry, Brandon Spars. I'm in Santa Rosa and I'm the secretary.
Linda.
Linda Yamato, Oakland, California.
Marion.
Marion Ferranti, Antioch, California.
Alicia.
Oh,
You're muted.
yeah.
Alicia Redis, I'm in.
And one of our newest members, yay, welcome. Jean.
Jean Ellison, Berserkly.
Claire.
Claire Hennessy, in Novato.
Excellent. Michael B.
That's me, Michael D. McCarty in Inglewood.
And we'll be hearing more from Michael in just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Dave.
That's Dave Chittenden from Orange, California.
Yay. Uncle Ben, Brother Ben.
Ben Tucker, Brother Ben from the People's Republic of Berkeley.
And SAC board member, yes. Liz.
Liz Nichols from Oakland, California.
And Edward.
Thank you.
Davis,
A one-time, long time gone, unfortunately, member of the Los Angeles Community Storytellers Group, and Michael and I were both there to start up the LA Storytelling Festival some 20 years ago. And I'm still doing occasional oral storytelling as Mr. Ed the Storyteller, and I'm wondering where all the LA people are, because of course I'm in LA.
Right, well, we've got it still a few more things, I think. Karen Werner.
Hi, Karen Werner from Pinole.
Former SAC president, yay.
Indeed.
Bobby.
Bobby Kincaid from Oakland. I'm spectating.
Mindy.
Mindy Donners, San Diego.
Excellent. Rupa.
Rupa Mohan from Walnut Creek.
Board member. And Ed Lewis.
From Davis, California, a board member.
Board member. And Tina.
I'm Tina Tomiyama, and Edward, I'm delighted to tell you I am from Los Angeles. I live about 1.5 miles from Michael.
And board member, and she does all our flyers and our layout for the newsletter, and just fabulous. Thank you.
Wow.
She does.
Super. So let's go through our reports. So Shags, financial report.
First, let me unmute and then get to the right place. And here we are, sharing the financial report. This is for the year ending December 31st. And you can see for the year, SAC did okay. We weren't sure what was going to happen going in because of COVID. And we ended up having a really good transition to electronic outreach. Our membership grew. We developed 2 programs which brought in donations, and that brought us $88.98.65 total. That we gave an $800 donation to Black Lives Matter out of that money that was raised for the Stories in Living Color, and you'll hear more about that. And all of our other expenses continued. Most of it is storyline, but that's one of our member benefits. That's why we charge membership dues. And the subtotal for administration was $3,900. And then we had programming expenses of $2,600. Total expenses were $6,600. So we ended the year plus just under $2,300. And right now, or at least at the beginning of the year, we had about $32,898 available for SAC purposes and an allocation of $3,200 for the Jenny Fund. And it's been wavering right around there. I don't have one current, but we're about 3 months in or 4 months in, and it's pretty constant for where we're going this year.
Any questions for Shags?
Appreciation. Thank you, Shag.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You go, boy.
Do what we can.
Okay, so some of our programs, we want to just talk about what we've been doing and where we are and perhaps future if we can get there. So Ed, you're up, genre series.
All right. So our next genre series is May 19th. The focus is the genre are myths, and we've got all the tellers lined up for that. I'll be sending the tellers their information today. Those of you, there's a few of you are on here, you have to register for it, so you get the link. The next one in June it's always the third Wednesday, and it's fantasy fairy tales. July are humorous laughing stories. And then that completes our year cycle. We started in August with personal stories, and then we will just start over again with personal stories. Then we went folk tales, spooky, so forth and so on. And unless somebody happens to come up with a new genre, we'll just keep that pattern going. It's been very successful. I think we've brought in new membership. That's one of our main goals with that. And we've been able to pay all the tellers through donations. Anywhere, the lowest was at $38, I think, and up to $58. So the average has been around $50 for each teller, and some of the tellers have donated it back to SAC, and others, we've paid them out. So it's met all the goals that I think we wanted to have for the event. Sarah, I have a quick one. I am going to have hip replacement surgery on June 14th. So will you take over the genre for me on that month? And, I'll send out everything and get it all set up before then, but just run the event in June, and I'll send you the info.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
you.
Any questions for Ed?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this month not Urban Legends?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had it wrong. It
I've
is.
got one.
No, it's legends, urban and traditional. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I thought, yeah, thank you. Okay.
We've already had myths.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, Brandon, San Francisco Free Folk Festival.
So this is probably our fourth time doing it, and we had an online event last year, and we're having an online event this year. It is June 12th, and I have a program for you to look at. We're going to be featuring all the different sides of SAC, the different kinds of programs that we run. And so I will be the MC, but each event has its own host. And we're kicking it off right at 12 o'clock on Saturday, June 12. It is an online event, and you register on the Folk Festival website. We're starting with Stories in Living Color, hosted by Rick, of course. And we will have Karen Amano and Rupa as one pair, Ruby Simpkins and Elizabeth Vanderkamp as another pair, and Terry and Ben as the final pair. And you can read more about that if you don't know about it, but it's a great program. Rick has already mentioned it, and this is another chance to see one of these. Starting at 1:30, we're going to have a genre tales, and this is June 12. I hope it doesn't, is that the one Sarah's going to run, Ed, is that right?
No.
Okay, so this is a separate event. This is going to have an example of each of the genres. And there is a great roster. There's a personal story by Cynthia Restivo, folktale by Sarah, and spooky scary story by Ed, sacred story by Gloria Jones, a tall tale by Dave Tarvin, and a myth by Ramya Srinida, and a historical story by David Schmidt. Starting at 3 o'clock, we have the Southern California Storyteller Showcase. So I'm sure the LA people are happy to hear this, and that's hosted by Marilyn McPhee and Tina. And we have some great tellers from the southern half of the state. We have John St. Clair, Ty Fance, Margaret Mitchell, Yvette Brandy, and Christina Maria Reva. Finally, we have the Jenny Fund program starting at 4:30. And this is a program that has been running starting in February with the San Jose Unified School District. And we have examples of stories that were told for 5th grade assemblies this year. Rupa, of course, will be hosting it. We have a story by Eleanor Clement Glass, Ben Tucker, and myself. And that will round off the day. And we're looking forward to everyone being there. It was a wonderful experience last year, even though it was on Zoom, and we're hoping for another good year. So I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Brandon for organizing all of that. Any questions for Brandon? Okay, Stories in Living Color, Rick.
Okay, we are coming out of a 2-month hiatus this month. And during this 2-month, we established a Stories in Living Color, or we call it SILK for short, committee made up of Sarah, myself, Tina, Ben, and Rupa, which has been a great help to move the program forward. We needed to get more tellers in the pipeline because although it's a well-received program, not that many tellers are keen to work with another teller, spend time involved in getting to know that teller, construct stories, or it's just such a new concept to them that they haven't considered it. And it's probably more the latter than the former. So we've done a good outreach. Tina put together a good flyer, and we now have tellers coming back in the pipeline and setting them up. We've also instituted recently, we mentioned this a couple of times, but some of you might not know it. We've instituted workshopping for tellers who want it. So this allows us to bring in not only experienced tellers, but also less experienced and even first-time tellers to work on the project and have their stories workshopped. And we provide that no cost to the tellers. We will be having a special event, Stories in Living Color show on May 25th. It's called Belonging, Asian American Stories. And this is one show where we're going away from the format of paired stories, but we wanted to get another Stories in Living Color show up sooner rather than later. And we wanted to support the Asian American community. And we're doing so through this special event on the 25th of May. And we will send out flyer on this soon, and it'll be on the website soon with the link for ticketing to that event. And then on June 23rd, we'll go back to our normal paired stories format and continue that every month afterwards. We're also submitting a proposal to NSN to hold a panel and discussion about Stories in Living Color in the project. Seems to fit with their theme perfectly, and we hope we get accepted. And so we can tell more people across the country about the project. So all in all, it's been going well. We still continue to and intend to continue to compensate our tellers at $100 per teller per show. The finances ebb and flow. Sometimes we get enough attendees to pay for all of that. Sometimes we take a little bit out of our bank account to make sure to pay for it. But we're hoping to kind of ramp up again, bring the attendance level up to where it was on the first couple of shows where we're paying for the program with the attendance. And that is pretty much it. But if anybody has any questions, please let me know.
Well done.
Thank you.
Great,
Thank
great.
Thanks,
Thank you.
to everybody, especially this new committee, which is invigorating.
Well, it's been so, Rick, it's been an incredible project. Jenny Fund, Rupa.
Hello, everyone. About 4 months ago, we launched the Jenny Fund project, and we were able to quickly locate a Title IX school in the San Jose School District called John Montgomery Elementary School. And Eleanor Clement Glass stepped in and she introduced us to the teacher and also took on the role of coordinating. So we've had 4 assemblies, and yesterday was the grand finale. And every month we addressed a different theme, starting with, I think, the first month was Lunar New Year, and then civil rights, and then there was women's empowerment, and yesterday was Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day. So basically we had like an assembly style storytelling for about over 65 kids, 5th graders, and 3 teachers who team teach facilitated this, and they were very enthusiastic. And one Friday every month we got them together, and 3 storytellers told to this group of students, and we've had amazing stories. Every storyteller has been unique and wonderful, and we had also diversity represented between the stories and the storytellers. And the teacher, the main teacher, actually suggested some themes, and she was going to do some work with the students around those themes. And she also told us, about the diversity in her classrooms, which made it easy for us to select the stories. And we are done. So we'll have to figure out whether we want to move this forward. But I will come up with the report, and the teacher is also going to send some feedback, and I'll share that with you when it's all ready.
Thank you, Rupa. That's been so
Very
exciting to get that done, and every session has been fabulous. I've been able to watch, so it's been great. Okay, Marion, you wanted to talk about Meetup a little bit, or you did you do what you wanted to, or you had a couple things to say? Go ahead.
Good question,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that Jenny Fund was
was
on
there a
Zoom.
question for Jenny Fund?
Yeah, that was on Zoom. Okay. That's great. She did a great job on that. Right, for Meetup, it's just a little bit problematic along the way. So even when we type up our main notice, the Meetup system doesn't allow us to type in an email or a phone number, so they can contact us. And we do still stand strong that we're not going to give the link plus the password straight out on the Meetup public media site. So because of that, we had 3 people who didn't come to Delta Word Weavers last month because they couldn't get in because they thought they had registered. So that's the kind of thing that, because the Meetup site, if you go to it and you say, oh, I want to go to Delta Word Weavers, for instance, on their site, you can find the link because we have recently put in links, but then that still doesn't give them a password. So like Andrew thought he was going to come, but he doesn't have the password, and it's already past my startup time and I can't deal with it. I'm dealing with my meeting. So anyway, so now Shags, we put it like a 3-sentence notice at the very beginning of each swap information. And it says, you must go to the swap, to the SAC website to locate your leader and get your password. We hope that takes care of it. There's just been a lot of small issues to deal with Meetup along the way. As long as we've been in it, we still haven't got smooth so that everybody's happy and can come to meetings.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I thought of a sneaky way around it. I just put it in the chat to Marion. We'll just spell out the phone number instead of putting it in numeric.
Oh, I see it.
NINETW.
Yeah. I don't know if that's cumbersome. It's cumbersome. I mean, for us, we can
It's
do
creative,
it.
yeah, but it's only done once because they're always repeated.
Yeah,
So
great.
we'll see if we can
That's
sneak
true.
around the rules.
Okay.
Sneaky.
So those,
Shags, you had a little evil smile there when you said sneaking around the rules.
Yeah, well, there are ways around their madness.
yes. So those are the reports of the projects we've been working on. We have some other announcements and things. So Shags, you wanted to talk about the YouTube channel?
Yeah, it was great. Since we started having Zoom for our swaps and other events, let's record them. So we got permission. People who don't want to be recorded, we can stop the recording and then resume it or put it in 2 parts. Well, we've got these recordings. How about a YouTube channel? Great. So we started a YouTube channel. We now have 75 videos in 12 different playlists, 1 playlist for each of the swap groups, and then 1 for our special events like this. And I think there's another one for another category. It doesn't really matter. And we also have 80 subscribers. So if you're not a subscriber to our YouTube channel, just go to YouTube and type in Storytelling Association of California and subscribe to the channel. You should get an update whenever anybody posts or whenever we post a new one.
Super. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Shags.
Yeah. That's great.
Rick, you wanted to talk about Friends of SAC, our new idea.
Yeah, one thing that we realized we were a little bit lacking on, since we want to support all storytelling in California and storytelling in general, was some type of listing of all the events that are coming up, and we wanted to make this timely. So we're going to create a monthly events listing. Our working title is Friends of SAC, but it's really for everybody. It's for those of us on the board who have a project that's not a SAC-sponsored project, SAC members who have an event, even non-SAC members across the country. Anytime we get exposure, it helps increase our membership. So this is one way to really include the entire country. And we want to make it very simple. So we're going to make it so that people will just send me an email, the date and time of their event, whether it's virtual or in person, the name of the event category, such as storytelling, concert, swap meet, performance, whatever, and a link to either the website or an email to get further information. It's not going to have graphics. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. It'll just be a listing. We will put the instructions in our website soon as to how to make these submittals, and we'll get it up and running on June 1st, and I'm sure that it will grow month by month after that to include many listings in California and maybe some across the country as well. And we think that this is really serving the needs of our storytelling community and also the storytelling community nationwide as well. We were a little bit remiss in that when we stopped having ePulse, which included listings of upcoming events, we didn't replace it with something like this. So we're doubling back, covering our bases, and instituting this as of June 1st. So if you do want to submit something, look for it to be on the website by June 1st, but I'll send out an all SAC email letting everybody know when it's live and how to submit upcoming events to it.
I saw 2 questions. Liz?
I want partly a comment. I noticed that NEST, Northeast Storytelling, that is such a great regional organization, that they seem to have a lot of that on their websites. So they might be a good model or something. And I wondered how this will relate to the Facebook page, which it does seem that's one place a lot of people, including a lot of people who are not in California, are posting events.
Oh, that's a good idea. So we should look into posting it on the Facebook page as well. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I frankly, I feel like our Facebook page has gotten taken over by other people, and that at least SAC events should be, and the thing is, you can't just post it once. You need to keep reposting it and reposting it because it goes down, because all these people are reposting events, and it's wonderful for us to know about all over the country. But I would love to see it really represent us as well. So there's maybe some connection there.
Yeah, we'll have to look into it. I'm not on Facebook. I did join Facebook when I became a storyteller, thinking, oh, this will be great. I'll be able to, communicate with my new community. And then I got 400 requests to friend, and which of these do I want to be friends with? Which do I not? And I remembered why I ditched Facebook about 10 years ago. And I ditched it again. So I'll need a little help with that. But it's something that we should definitely look into so that we get the same information going across all of our platforms.
Okay, so I saw Karen and then Claire.
Yeah, I was just wondering, is this taking the place of the calendar?
No.
No, it'll
So
have
yeah,
many
no.
more things on it than the calendar would.
How is it different from the calendar? I don't get it. Isn't that the information that we ask for the calendar?
Well, I can't speak to any of the filters that we put in place as to what goes on the calendar or not, but I'm sure that there are many things that we don't put on the calendar that would go on this list. For instance, if somebody from North Carolina wanted us to post something, we wouldn't put that on the calendar. We wouldn't likely put that on the calendar. So Sarah, you can probably speak to this better than I, but I'm imagining that the calendar is basically for SAC only or SAC affiliated.
No, we've been actually doing all folks, but Karen, it's passive and active. So calendar, people have to send stuff to me to post, and
Right.
people have to go and look there. And
Right.
what Rick's talking about is going to be sent out.
But people still have to send them.
Sure, they have to send him stuff, but then it will be broadcast. You don't have to go someplace. I don't have to go someplace to look up the stuff that Rick's going to send out because it'll just come to me.
Yeah, I guess my point is that on the surface of it, it seems that there's redundancies in here, which is fine as long as you've got the people power to keep all of those going. That at some time you might want to do an assessment of what's really effective.
Mhm.
Since I'm assuming we still have limited people power, and you want to be sure that the people that are involved are happy with their involvement, I guess.
No, appreciate that. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Claire Hennessy.
So I'm just following on that. I'd like to get a bit more involved with SAC. So I'd be happy to help you, Rick, with the Facebook stuff and with the list and things. So I can help out with that, because you can pin posts to the top of the page. So you could pin a SAC post to the top of the page. So that will be the top post for everything, and then everybody else's go underneath it. So there's things. I mean, Facebook is a little bit irritating, but there are some things that you can do to help the actual page, whoever owns the page. But anyway, I'll be able to help. I'll help you with the list and the calendar and stuff like that if you want me to, because I'd love to get a bit more involved with SAC, and that would be quite an easy way for me to do stuff.
That would be lovely, Claire. Thank you so much. We got your name everywhere. It's in the minutes. Everybody's shouting. Yay. Thank you.
Oh, what have I done?
Super. Excellent.
And I get to come over to Claire's house in Novato and listen to Mark's record collection.
Yes, absolutely. You'd never get any
Okay.
closer. Oh,
okay. Incentive. There you go. So I'm going to have Jean talk a little bit about the regional gem process. And then I have another thing then before we start with Michael. So Jean?
Well, here I am.
Yes, you are.
Regional Gem Committee. Marilyn Rudzik, Marilyn McPhee, and myself are members of this committee. It was created by our dear friend Karen Werner to provide an annual recognition and a performance venue for valued California storytellers. Our list of notables include Catherine Fairley from 2014. She was our first. Kirk Waller, Tim Araneta, Marilyn McPhee. Are you in the house, Marilyn?
She is.
BZ Smith, Barbara Clark, and Linda Yamoto. I know she's in the house. And this year, of course, Michael D. McCarty. Hooray! We're looking for nominations for next year's regional gem. From California, from Northern California. We're alternating Northern and Southern California, so we are more inclusive of the state of California, Alta California. Anything above the Mexican border is Alta California. Should be a seasoned storyteller who can hold an audience for an hour's performance, concert. And we'd like to know a little bit about how they're involved in promoting and supporting storytelling in their community. So you could submit your proposals, your nominations to our chair, Marilyn Rudzik, by August 31st. You can check the SAC website on the regional gem page at www.storysac.org, which we all know. My report is short and sweet, but I am so excited that we'll be honoring and be in the presence of Michael D. McCarty. Although it's virtual, we're very, very happy that he's our regional gem this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Jean. Thank you.
Jean, what was the deadline again?
August 31st.
Thank you.
Okay, so I believe that that's all our reports. I want to acknowledge several people who've come in and also open it up to, well, questions, suggestions, and so on. And then if you have announcements to make about your work. But I'd like to welcome Rocky Ross. There she is, who's been doing some fabulous work with particularly the newer tellers, workshopping their stories for the Stories in Living Color. So Rocky, why don't you talk about what you're up to these days too?
Hi. The reboot is in hiatus. I'm just not sure yet what we're doing, whether we go back to our venue or do more live shows, but I'm thrilled to be coaching the Stories in Living Color tellers who are open to coaching and helping with tech and producing the show. And I just wanted to mention there is on Facebook, I know Claire knows about this, the virtual storytelling. It has 792 members and people post there every day. My show's happening tomorrow or tonight or this week. So just in the interest of not, reinventing the wheel, knowing about that, that's a place to go for any storytelling event. People are posting from all over the country there. Claire can show it to you, Rick, for sure. So you can get stuff from that. That's just full of all kind of resources of shows. So I'm just looking forward to listening to Michael, and I enjoyed seeing how active and thriving this organization is.
Well, we appreciate all your help. Thank you. Marilyn McPhee, our liaison to the NSN board. Do you want to say a few words?
Of course, I'm a storyteller. I always want to say a few words. And I know for those of you who, like me, are always deadline driven, deadline on Monday for submissions for this summer's NSN conference, stories and workshops and spotlights and all kinds of things. And all of that is available on storynet.org if you just go to the conference. So there's that. And then there are some fringes coming up, first in a while, and some story slams. And NSN is doing some amazing things. If you didn't catch the Earth Up conference, that was incredible and involved some of you. And there's some really wonderful things going on. So be sure that you're a member and be sure that you're in touch with the things on storynet.org.
We really appreciate Marilyn coming to our board meetings. She's been Just terrific. Thank you so much. Let's see, there are a few people I know about, and then we'll see about people I don't know about. So Mindy, do you want to talk about You Standing Strong or anything else?
Thanks, Sarah. You Standing Strong is a storytelling camp for those youth who are going into first grade and through graduating high school. And it is, the underpinning of that is the efforts by Assist. And the Youth Standing Strong camp happened the first time last summer. I wasn't in it, but I joined them midwinter. I was very attracted to the mentorship idea, the concept of a one-to-one. And so it does cost money. And it is up on page 9. Sarah Armstrong, excuse me, got it up there, our flyer. And there are scholarships available. So if you know of any youth who would just think that would be a dandy kind of camp, I must say it was so much fun. And there's a small group at the beginning, then a mentorship of 1 hour, then a small group at the end, and you get to meet a lot of different people from all over the United States and a couple people that are from places way across the world. So that's my pitch for You Standing Strong camp. I know that many parents might be waiting to see what comes back in person, of course, but you can join into this right at the last, and it's a match. It's a match for the youth teller and their interest and their background with one of the mentors who's a grown-up and their interest and background.
Thanks, Mindy. And then often some of the youth and their mentors get to perform at some of Sheila Arnold's family fests. So it's
absolutely
really cool. Yeah, super.
There are performing opportunities that keep it's a gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, yeah.
And scholarships are available. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Claire Hennessy, I bet you have stuff coming up.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Mindy, what's the tuition?
The tuition is $130. We're a little past the early bird special. $130 for a 5-day camp, and that's about an hour and a half commitment per day per youth. And the scholarships are usually about 50% scholarships, but you can talk to Sheila Arnold or Sue Kessler at Assist, and just, yeah, ask what you need to ask or say what you need to say. It's just such an open bunch of people, and it was so much fun. And if you want to be a mentor, you can sign on now too. I think we need youth tellers right at the moment. I haven't checked in a bit. And Ben, you can always email me personally too for specifics, questions.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Ben.
Mindy. Claire?
Oh, I didn't know I was going to do this. So yeah, I've got a couple of shows coming up in May. We've got one on the 21st, which is just funny stories. I can't wait. There's 4 tellers, Ed Stivender, Mo Reynolds, Mary Teresa Archbold, and VJ Nathan. And not only going to tell funny stories, but we've now changed our feature slightly. We're interviewing the storytellers beforehand, and we tried it out on an anniversary show, and we did it just a couple of weeks, well, last week actually, with a folktale show that was so fantastic. We had 5 tellers, and they were all amazing. If you missed it, then you can watch a replay from $1 up. I mean, that's always whatever donation from $1 upwards. So if you go to the 6 Feet Apart website, so SFAP 6 Feet Apart Productions, sfapshows.com, then you can go and do that. And it was just so good. So we're interviewing we're going to try and do this from now on and interview storytellers before they tell their story. And then we've also got an open mic storytelling show on the 26th, on Wednesday, and I think it's the 26th of May, which is just for anybody to tell a personal story. Well, actually, I don't care. You can tell personal, you can tell traditional, I don't mind. But it's like a story slam, a bit like the Moth. And Jessica Robinson's our featured teller, and it's $25 to the winner, and they move on to our Stellar Slam, which will be later on in the year. And then we're going to have a show for Pride, and then we've got other shows coming up. So and all the information's on our website. Thanks.
Terrific.
Also, we've also got, some shows on our YouTube channel. And so we did a Stories in Living Color with Rick. We've done 2 Black Lives Matter shows. We did a Stories in Black and White, which are all similar to those stories. So, and you can watch those free on our YouTube channel. And we've got lots of other shows on there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Forgot to mention, we've got a YouTube channel. Everybody's got a YouTube channel.
Terrific, terrific. Okay, Marion, do you want to talk about next Delta Word Weavers?
That would be tomorrow.
That would be tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 2 o'clock on Zoom. Yeah, get your link on the SAC website, or if you're on my list, you've already got in your email. And the title is The Women, and June will be the men. We're giving them fair share too. But Bobby Kincaid is our featured teller for tomorrow. Yeah, she's in the house. And then we have a story about Lucia Ann Hill, a spy in the Confederate Army. And we have the teller described it as a sweet Mother's Day true story. And we have more than that too. So those are some of the stories that will be on tomorrow afternoon. So come one, come all. Thank you.
Super. Liz, next swap coming up?
The Contra Costa Tail Spinners next swap will be May 27th. It's always the 4th Thursday of the month, pretty much. And it's been going really well on Zoom, and especially having people come from as far as India, or thank you, Ed, for bringing Bev from Albany, New York to us. And so we're just going to keep going until the library is, and we're ready to be back in Orinda.
Super, super, thank you. And Bobby Kincaid has a book coming out. Did you want to say anything, Bobby?
Thank you. It's about damsels overcome, and they're stories that I read as a child and told at the Asian Art Museum until I found out that all of them were narrated by the males, fellows, and their narrations and what they thought about the females at that time, and my reaction and how I overcame it. And it's a little self-help at the back of how face your negatives, get over them and go out and do your stuff, women, females, get over it. We're as equal as everybody else. And it's got quite a lively little cover, and I hope it does well. And thank you, Sarah, very much for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's see, a reminder, if you haven't already, please put your name in the chat so we can kind of have a roll call of who was here today. And then we have a few minutes before our featured event. So are there other folks who'd like to make announcements or ask questions? Ed Lewis, go ahead.
The Sacramento Storytelling Guild has their monthly swap meet on Saturday, May 15th at 7 o'clock. Just like Miriam's and all of us, you go online and check it out. The theme is Like a Mother to Me. So you can, if you want to tell a story, you can let me know. And you can go on the website also. Thank you.
Thanks. Alicia.
Hi. I've been rather busy telling Native American stories, mostly of the Miwok people, since that's been a part of my job for the last 10 years, learning their culture and teaching at, doing tours at the Museum of the American Indian. They've been for this last week or so. I'm not sure when they're going to open up. But meanwhile, I've been working on my own culture with the Mayo Yaqui. So I'm pretty excited to be, having some time now. I do trilingual songs in the Miwok language, Coast Miwok and Sierra Miwok, because of the work I've been doing. So with COVID, I finally got a chance to start looking into the Yaqui and Mayo stories. So I have a large project I'm working on for that. And there's something new called neighborhood stories that started up sometime this year. I believe it started up over in Oakland, and basically they're live performances that are held in different areas throughout a town. The one I did was in Mill Valley, and I told the story of Oye and Liwa, Coyote and Water, and how he steals music and all that fun stuff. And now I've been asked to join them in El Cerrito for the Mukayam tribal community over there. And so, gosh, I should maybe send you some information about it, because there may be other tellers that might want to do this. So they're basically looking for local tellers in these areas. And the next one in El Cerrito, they're on the weekends. It's a live performance. It's done safely by way of, it's kind of like instead of driving into a movie, you're driving in for a performance. So you'll have 3 cars with the audience inside the cars, and you're outside telling your story. It's not just storytellers though. There are dancers, people that are doing poetry, there's bands, all sorts of things. So it's called Neighborhood Stories. And I could send you a link for that. Now, I'm not the only teller. There's like 8 places that you're going to drive to, and you're listening to an audio of about the places that you're going to.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
pleasure.
great. Yeah, please send us some information. Bobby, I think you had your hand up again. Yeah.
I go to the Mixed Bag swap also that's in Oakland. I think she's in Berkeley. It's a small group. It meets the Monday, the 3rd Monday of the month. And Linda Walls does it. It's very casual. A lot of chit chat goes on, but some of you come and join us. It's kind of fun, like all the rest of them.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have just a couple more minutes before we start. We bring our regional gem up front. Any other comments, questions, ideas? Linda Yumoto, I thought you might have something to say. Go ahead.
I just wanted to share a couple of things. I mean, May is so packed with storytelling events, but on May 20th, Stagebridge is hosting a really amazing show of Asian American tellers. There's going to be 16 of us. Probably didn't know there were that many of us, but there actually are more. And then on May 23rd, the Asian Art Museum of San Francisco is hosting a storytelling program as well called Taking It Personally. And it's going to be all personal stories of 6 really wonderful tellers, Rupa being one of them. So I hope you can join us for one of those. And I'll send you guys, send Rick the information so that he could post it. Is that what I should do? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
That'd be good. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else or any thoughts or comments or suggestions? Go ahead, Shags.
Yeah, all those events, remember, if you're a member of the SAC's Facebook friends and group page, just post it there too. And it'll go out to all those people that are been posting to us.
Great.
And if you saw in the chat, I included some things. We're at 187 members after we did a little bit of a purge. And we do have a Find Storytellers page. If you're not listed there, take a look at what those entries look like and send me yours. We can include a link to your email or a website or both. And then our Zoom account, we added webinars to it because we needed that for certain events. And if we end up having a really good run coming up for this Silk in May, we can go from 100 seats to 300 seats. And that room is available. You could rent the SAG Zoom room. If you wanted to do a webinar and you didn't have a pro account, or you had a pro account but didn't want to add the webinars, So we're making that available to all SAC members at $10 a use, which is pretty cheap.
Super, super.
Member benefits.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I want to thank you all for coming, and I know why we're all here. I appreciate your